Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 560. My name is Christopher Riccio, and I'm here with Jeff Chorty.
What up, everyone?
And that's it. It's just the two of us today.
Just the two of us.
We missed last week because of scheduling and things like that. Jason's not feeling well, and Jeff and I said we certainly don't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. So let's just jump on. Plus, we got
lots
two.
to talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. So let's talk about a lot. Jeff, how you doing, man? What's going on this week?
I'm doing okay. This past weekend was all right. Got to watch a little bit of WrestleMania at my buddy's house. Yeah, had kind of like a mini get together. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I was like, you know what? I haven't hung out with these gents in a while, so that's kind of watched the first night of that on Saturday. That was fun, and then chilled. Had a big scare on Friday night, or it might have been Thursday. I can't remember, but I'll paint the picture for you.
A big scare.
A big scare. Well, okay, so Tanya and I are laying in bed. We're watching. We're just either on our phones watching YouTube. Just like our pre like sleeping ritual. We just kind of like watch TV or whatever till we kind of fall asleep, sort of deal. And at some point, like I was sitting there like laying down, all of a sudden like I saw like a flash kind of like the room kind of lit up a little bit. And I was like, oh, that was weird. So I look out our window because our window, we have this big bedroom window that kind of looks out to across the street was like an old um, airport, like a small airport for kind of like a army base and like really small jets. Like there's really only like one jet that ever took off and whatever
Okay.
there, but that's since closed down.
Like
But
a
the
little
army base is
private
still there.
army, like a
Kinda,
little private airport? Okay.
Yeah, I think it belonged to like the army base, whatever. But then that closed down a few years ago, and then it's like big like park, Downsview Park or whatever is behind it and whatever. So I look out the window and I thought, okay, well maybe it's just one of the street lights going off, then went back on or whatever. And then so Tony didn't notice this time, and then all of a sudden we're just like sitting there watching TV, and then another huge fire. Our entire like wall of our bedroom like lit up orange, just like orange,
Orange?
orange. And I
Okay.
look out the window and I see a massive mushroom cloud, like fireball, in that direction. Like when I was like, "What the fuck?" And then
Like
Tanya's
something
like,
blew up?
"Yes," and Tanya's like, "What the fuck was that?" And we look at it and then we just see this like huge like fireball, and we're like, what is happening? Like my first thought was, did a plane just crash? Because um even though that airport's gone, we are underneath kind of like a flight path for going planes coming into Pearson, which is like the big Toronto airport.
Mhm.
um and I was like, oh my god, like what the hell? And then I was like, well, I don't think it's that, because I feel like that would be like, like much bigger. And we're kind of think of like, well, what is over there? There's nothing that's like, there's no factories. Like, was it a car? Did we get something? Did a house blow up? Like, what the hell's going on? We're kind of like freaking out. Like, do we call 911? What the hell's going on? Um, we start hitting social media, and of course, a bunch of other people saw it and are kind of like freaking out. Then we started seeing kind of like sirens and like stuff like towards that area. So like, okay, whatever it is, like people are on their way. And turns out, Drake, the
Oh,
rapper,
no. Yes.
he
Yeah,
was
I do.
shooting a music video and they used a big explosion, but the people who were running it didn't tell enough people. I guess they told the park it was happening. Downsview put out a notice a few days earlier, said, "Oh, you just to let you guys know, you might experience loud noises and flashes of light." But this was now a flash of light. This is a motherfucking mushroom. It was like fucking
That's
Fallout 4.
yeah.
Like I was like, what the fuck was that? I'm like, this is World War III. It's happening. Like it's starting in Toronto apparently. Like that's where this is going down. But no, it was for a Drake music video, and everyone was like having a shitstorm. The city was pissed off. They were like,
Mm-mm.
why weren't at least like the surrounding areas, like condos and houses, like notified that this was happening? And
Mhm. Yeah.
like, a bunch of shit went
Like, how
down.
far away would you say it was?
Oh man, I'd say maybe like I don't know, it's hard to tell. Maybe like half a kilometer, which you guys don't do
That's it?
kilometers.
Holy shit.
Maybe a kilometer, maybe. Like,
Okay.
yeah, it was like right in the like heart of like Downsview Park, basically. Um, and then I should actually post the video. We did find a video of somebody who was kind of like near the site, like I guess was there part of the filming, who videotaped it, and like, there's no way if somebody saw this from their window anywhere, they would not think something crazy was happening. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a small explosion. um, so yeah, so that was and Tanya posted something on social media about it. And actually, the newspaper, Toronto Star, reached out to her. Was like, "Hey, can we call you?" And
Oh
they gave
wow.
Tanya like a little interview, and she had like a section in the paper the next day. They, I guess, then like they used mostly her quotes in the article about people who live there who saw this, and like, yeah, the mayor and stuff was not happy because the people who held the permits didn't do their job properly. And I could just imagine what was going down, like all like the 911 calls that were being called and all
No
this stuff. And
kidding.
like,
Especially for
yeah,
people that are closer.
yeah, it was pretty nuts. But it
I
was
mean,
like,
did you
okay,
hear it too? I mean, I'm assuming you
we
did.
heard it after, because I guess it was far enough where we saw it first and
And
then
then
we
then
heard it.
heard it. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't like we didn't hear it first, but we definitely heard it. It was
Yeah.
pretty loud.
That's
Yeah,
nuts. Holy crap.
it was pretty crazy. But good thing it ended up being that in the end, and nothing, no one was
Yeah.
hurt or
More
anything. It wasn't
serious.
like, yeah, it was a controlled explosion at least. But yeah, for a second there, I was like, oh, well, here it is. This is it. This is how we're gonna go. So yeah. Other than that, not much exciting happened. Other than, yeah,
I
that and
think that's
wrestling.
enough excitement, man.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that's
enough.
enough.
Like, I
Yeah.
woke right the fuck up. Like, I was
Yeah.
like kind of on the verge of like going to sleep, and I was just like wide awake. And I was like, even when we found out possibly what it was, because we didn't get confirmation until the next day. But there's enough people on social media being like, "Oh, Drake, look, Downsview put out a thing, blah blah blah, all this stuff." And I was like, okay, well, it seems like it's under control. Like, it's
Oh
not, whatever.
man,
But yeah, it definitely got the adrenaline rising for a bit,
that's
spiked.
crazy.
Yeah. What about you, Chris? What were you up to?
Let's see. So, what do we do this? Well, it's been 2 weeks, right? So,
Yes.
we're approaching the end of the semester for the kids. So there's a lot of like rush to make sure everything is getting done for the kids. We did get a chance to go to um, Ren Fair yesterday,
Hmm.
so that was fun. And it was just this time it was just my wife, my daughter, and mine and I, and just walked around. It was like puppy day, so they had all the dogs and stuff. So that was cool. And we saw a couple of Goldens that were show dogs.
Hmm.
And we stopped and talked to them for a while about Flash and where we got him and things like that. So that was pretty cool. We didn't stop and see any shows like the two big shows that we love to go to are no longer there, and I don't know
Weird.
now. It's like, well, we got to figure out what shows to see now. um but overall good time, as expected from going to Ren Fair. It is a long drive for us. It's like an hour, but that's
Okay.
all right. It's not that bad. Let's see what else. We uh we talked about Super Mario Galaxy already, but didn't we? That's been a while.
No, we
No,
did we?
I don't know. Did you see Super
I
Mario
hadn't seen it yet
Galaxy?
because I just saw it last weekend.
Okay,
So
what did you think?
for what I saw was good. I fell asleep. It's and it was at no fault of the movie at all.
Yeah.
I was up really early that Saturday. I was up at like 5 a.m. and I couldn't get back to sleep, so I was just gonna get up. And I did like a bunch of crap, like grocery shopping, did some stuff around our place and stuff like that. And I kind of, it's in my mind that we were seeing like an early show where it was like
Mhm.
11:40 or something like that, or like 11 something. Um, and the second I got a popcorn and like some candy to split with tea, and the second I downed that popcorn and some candy, it was just like, I was just like, oh my god, I am gonna fall asleep. I am fighting this, and I fought it as long as I could. And then I just remember waking up at some point, and I was like, oh, Fox McCloud's in here. Oh, where'd he come from?
That's right.
Um, so I missed all that. But I saw like the first third and the last third. The middle third, I was kind of in and out. But yeah.
I will say that in my personal opinion, and actually my kids agreed with me. So my personal opinion is that the movie was fun. It was a lot of fun. But they packed way too much into this movie.
Hmm.
Like it was an hour, it was a little bit over an hour and a half, I think, if I remember correctly. And there's just so much in it. And it probably would have been benefited from a little less like nods. There were a ton of nods, or a little bit longer of a runtime. So you could develop a little bit more. but it was way too much and way too short of a time frame. So it was a lot of fun, but the first movie was better, in my opinion.
That's
Um,
our niece and nephew said the same thing. They like
yeah,
they still really like this a lot, but they preferred the first one.
yeah. The first one was certainly a better movie. But I definitely suggest it. Like I think the voice actors do a fantastic job. I thought the story was cute. Geoff mentioned Fox. He has a pretty interesting like intro into this movie. Kind of opens up the door for them to do something else. So I guess we'll see what happens with Nintendo and movies going forward. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it
Um,
again at some point.
yeah. So well, watch it at least the middle part for the first time.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. The job search continues. I do have prospects. I'm speaking with 4 different companies right now, so I'm, knock on wood, hoping to have something lined up pretty soon. Because my last day at work, officially, well, not officially, but my last day at work, air quotes,
Hmm.
is actually Friday, and then I'm just using
Oh,
up all my vacation time until June
gotcha.
1st.
Yeah.
So, if I don't have anything during the month of May, that's when I double and triple down to try and find something. Because most of my team is also taking most of May off because they all have
Yeah.
all the vacation too. But again, got 4 different prospects right now. It's going to be a busy couple of weeks with those 4 prospects. So I'm hoping to have some good news soon, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hopefully one of them bites and gives you an offer.
That would be good. That would be ideal. Um, cool. Let's talk some games.
Sure.
We
What are we
got some
starting
new
with?
we got some new shite this week.
We
Why don't
do.
you decide what we shot? I
Oh
don't know
fuck.
what
I
you
don't
played
know.
more. I
Oh,
played
I finished one and got a little not too the second area and another one. So Pragmata, I got to the second. I beat the first boss. I'm on the second area, and I
mhm.
finished Replaced.
Okay.
So
Let's talk about Replace then, because I've
okay,
only gotten to like there's that first area, that first town area you get to,
yes,
and
the
where
hub kind of
yeah,
area.
the first hub area, and they give you like a few side missions.
Yep.
That's all I got. I've only gotten that far. I only played a couple hours, I think like an hour and a half of it.
It's probably
So
like an hour and a
yeah.
half. Yeah,
But what I played, I enjoyed. It's like we talked about it a bit on the demo. I think the gameplay is really good. I feel like it's a kind of a more of a methodical action platformer. Like it's a little slower, but everything is very like everything you're doing is kind of precise when it comes to combat and things like that. Like you just want to make sure that it's very important that you're paying attention to what's going on because you can get overwhelmed very quickly. Um, the animation is top notch. Like
it
it's
is
really
amazing.
really
Yeah,
good.
the
Uh,
visuals are fantastic. I
in
think.
yeah, they do really good with the
Yeah,
effects and stuff like that. I just I'm pretty impressed with it.
yeah, I really loved it overall. I could see why some people, because it's kind of like a cinematic platformer. I guess that's a term I've seen thrown out a lot lately. So it fits in that category of like Inside, Limbo,
Hmm.
Darwin's Paradox. But this is definitely more story heavy and combat heavy. I wouldn't say it's combat heavy actually. There's a lot of combat, but it's not like you're not like fighting like constantly. And the combat is like the Arkham style, but 2D,
Hmm.
which takes a little bit of getting used to, and it does have its issues, especially when you're trying to react to a character you think you're reacting to, but then because they share the same plane, another
They can
enemy can do
overlap.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
yeah,
you have enemies in the background that are kind of waiting for their turn to come forward. So once you defeat a certain amount of enemies, they'll come forward from
yeah.
kind
They
of like the
jump in.
background. And they sometimes don't stand out enough from the characters in the foreground. So sometimes it's kind of hard to tell which guys you're going to actually attack. Um, so that's kind of like you kind of get used. I wouldn't say you get used to it. You just end up tolerating it more as the game goes. You kind of know it's like it's going to happen, and
Yeah.
you're going to take some hits because of that. Uh, but it's not.
But
It's
they
Mhm.
also give you like the stim heal, which I like, that refills. So I like that mechanic. And interestingly enough, both of the games that we're going to talk about today have a similar mechanic. So,
Yeah,
but that makes it a little bit more manageable. And the what's great about that is like it like the you get refills on your stim heals after every combat encounter,
Yeah.
rather than like having to go back to a save point or go back to the hub or whatever. So if you have one really bad fight and you have to use both your stims or whatever, if maybe you have more, you get two of them back right away. And then so it only takes like one or two good fights to get all of your stims back, and then you're in much better shape. Um, I haven't fought a whole lot of bosses yet, so I don't know if
There's
there's like a
there's not a
like
ton. There's
okay.
definitely a few. Um, the first one actually is probably, in my opinion, was the hardest. Which I don't think you fought the first boss yet. Who Uncle Ben is his name?
Oh, okay.
No,
I
yeah,
haven't
you
gotten
haven't
there yet.
yet.
We've started talking about Uncle Ben, but we haven't gotten
Okay,
there yet.
yeah, he's the first one. He's because I think it's mainly also because you don't have as many mechanics unlocked when you fight him. Because you do get new mechanics as the game goes on. Like almost every chapter gives you some type of new tool,
Cool.
whether that is a combat tool or
Like a navigation
like a
tool.
navigation tool. Like you get a
Okay.
double jump, but it's very contextual. You can only double jump off of air vents,
Oh,
and
okay.
things like that. Um,
I kind of like that. It's like I can't magically jump twice, so
yeah. So you get air vents, you can just. It's still the way they explain it to you. You're basically shooting your gun into the wind, and that's knocking you up. That's their justification for it in the game. So yeah, so the game basically is about you're a guy named Warren who has been kind of like taken over, or he put into himself AI, basically named Reach.
Mhm.
So they refer to you as Reach. You refer to yourself as Reach, like throughout the game. Um, you're basically trying to get back to where Reach
Over the
was kind of
wall.
created, over the
Yeah.
wall, to
Phoenix
where
City.
Phoenix, which is of course the corpos, like they're the
Yeah.
bad, and you're with the good, which who are the disposals, which they are in this. It's not the future. It takes place in like 83 or something,
Mhm.
1983 or
Yeah.
84. But it's a cyberpunk thing, so it's like everything's kind of futuristic. Um, and the disposals are basically people who they take it. Basically, they can harvest your organs and stuff and put them into somebody, and then they just become like the rich or whatever. If they need something, they get it, and they're taking them from the poor people, and they will either offer them money for it, but it doesn't matter if they turn down the money, they just get they just take it from you, and
Mhm.
that's why you're kind of then you become a
And then you get
disposal.
right, and then you get
Yeah,
tossed out of
over
like
the yeah,
over the
you're
wall,
basically
and
over the wall.
you're disposed of.
Yes,
So it's really
yeah,
fucking grim. And what's really scary is it's almost kind of plausible.
yeah. No,
So
really,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, and some of the characters you meet, you can hear like their backstory and stuff. It's really cool. It's the story's actually really good. That's something that stuck out for me. And I usually don't read like logs and stuff like that when you come across me in these games, but in this I have because they're
yeah,
short enough where I feel like I'm not reading forever.
yeah, me too, me too. And I don't know why, but I think like the way they present that stuff absolutely helps.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but like when you actually like go up and do a get like there'll be like a flashy on this on the screen,
Yeah.
and you can walk up and it almost looks like you're taking a picture of it, but it's being scanned, and then basically gives you like a close up view of this device that Reach carries around or Warren carries around. I don't know if the device is Reach's or Warren's, but they are
Yeah.
carrying it around. And it looks like an old school like portable TV, and you've got like a screen, and he can scroll up and down on like when you scroll the text on this little device, he's moving his thumb on like a little dial that goes up and down. I don't know why, but like that presentation helps me be
It
interested in
does.
what's being reported in the
Yeah.
text, right? I don't know. I think it was a really smart move. It was a really
Yeah.
smart move.
It's a good way to do it. And like the side stuff and the exploration is not crazy. Like you said, it has like a little pip. Like when you're walking around, the thing will flash. You know that's a point of interest to go do whatever. The
Mhm.
side missions are all contained within like an area, like that hub area that you go back to a few times, and you can pretty much find everything within there. And you're just basically getting something and bringing it back to another character. They'll give you an upgrade or whatever. There's one girl, Susan, who's got the arcade machines, and she
Yes.
gets that you can play the arcade
Yeah, you
machines
get
and
to play the
stuff.
arcade machine, which
Yeah.
reminded me a lot of like initially it reminded me a lot of like, do you remember the old 8-bit Ghostbusters game? I don't
Yes.
know why, but
Yes.
it
Yeah.
reminded me of
The
that for
first
some reason.
one when you're in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when you're in
Yeah.
the car in the overhead view and driving around.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you now that since you brought it up. Like you've got like the little hub area where you do all the side quests. And it gives you a mission that says optional, like just explore and talk to everybody and do and that. Will that eventually get checked off if you've done all of the side missions?
I never really found like a list of side missions
Yeah.
in the game. So I just
Because
kind
like
of
that
went
first
around
hub
and
area, I've done like
yeah.
3 of them, and that message is still there. Like that
I think it
quest
always
is
just
still
says
there.
it no matter
Okay.
what, because I think it's basically just saying, do you want to stay in this area or you want to go continue the mission,
Mm.
or continue like the main story type deal when you get that kind of stuff. And everything. There's only one mission I didn't do, um, that I know of actually, and it was where you get something and you can choose to give it to a character or not, and I didn't do it, but I don't know, like I I don't see how that would have played like I never ran into that character again, at least and I don't know if any outcome changed because of it. I'm wondering if the game just thinks like, okay, I just didn't do that side quest. Now that I'm thinking about it, now I might want to do like a second playthrough again just to see if that does. Oh, actually, I'll just look it up first before I play through it again. Because I can't remember how far in that was. You'll know
How
what
long
I'm
did it take
talking
you?
about. It's hard to say. Game clock says like 16 hours, not game clock, Xbox clock or
Xbox
whatever.
clock, yeah.
But
So
the
probably
game is
like
around like 10 or
12 or
12.
13,
Yeah, I think it was
yeah.
like 12 because I so some of the negatives I saw in some of the reviews were checkpointing, was one of them. That's some bad checkpoints. I didn't really find that to be an issue until the very last chapter, and then
Mm.
I some of them were pure horseshit. And it wasn't because like a lot of them said like cutscenes. You'd have to watch cutscenes again, which they're skippable, which is fine. But my issue was there would be like 3 combat encounters in a row, and if you die in the last one,
You have to do
you have
all of
to
them
do them
again?
all 3 of them again, and
Yeah,
they do get kind of difficult towards the end because of all the shit that you have to kind of keep track of,
yeah,
which is fun, but you can't mash your way through it, to go back to the combat, like, it's like Batman, like, you gotta be kinda methodical with your button presses because if you hit the wrong button, you are basically locked into an animation, and you'll get fucked if, like, because it's got the attack, it's got the counter, and it's got the dodge to start with, so if you hit dodge when you're supposed to hit counter, you're gonna get hit, and you can't just if even if you notice it last second, be like, "Oh, dodge, dodge." You're committed to that animation.
yeah,
So when you're having like 3 big and you're fighting up to like sometimes 12 people at a time, or like 6 at a time times two, like 4 times or 3 times in a row, it can get kind of hairy, you know. So, um, but yeah, other than that, it was all right. Another one is this is very much influenced by games like Prince of Persia and like Flashback. This is the Flashback
mm.
I've always wanted. Like
Oh,
the
yeah?
modern
Okay.
Flashback I've always wanted. This is like when I saw the trailer for this game in like 2020, I think is when they first showed it, or 2021, and the art style sold me right away. This my second thing was, oh my god, if this is going to be anything like what Flashback 2 should have been or anything like that, I'm going to love this game, and that's what I got from it. Like
Nice, excellent.
warts and all, like it's the developer's first game. um, it if you're not used to that type of game, like it, some people said the controls are sluggish. They're sluggish, but kind of by design. It's got that you hit jump, but he's not going to jump right away. The animation starts when you hit the jump button. So if you know at the beginning where you're kind of doing that run, you got to jump over the logs.
Yes,
Like
mhm.
like if you're trying to play it like a regular platformer and you're hitting jump when you think you should, you're going to trip
Yeah,
over that
you're gonna
log.
trip over the log,
You
yeah.
got to do it a
It's
little
gotta
bit
be
ahead.
early.
Yeah. And people like Chris, like you and I, Jason, like us older gamers, get out my lawn. We know that just by the feel of it. You know, right when you start like navigating reach, how
Mhm,
he's going to control. Same with
yeah.
like when you're jumping, like doing wall climbing or like jumping from like swinging on like things, whatever. It's not like
Yeah.
New Prince of Persia. It's more
All
like
of your
old.
movement is extremely deliberate. Like, you've
Yes.
got to like, it's I don't wanna say that you're planning things out, but, there's a method to your jumping. Like, when if you're planning to jump in real life, you don't just instantly jump. You probably take a step and jump. That's kind of the situation here. When you decide to push jump, he takes a step and then he jumps.
Yeah.
So if you hit jump and you're doing it right before you get to the log, he takes that step and trips over the log.
Yeah,
So
he's gonna eat dirt.
yeah,
Like, for sure.
I certainly ate dirt a few
Yeah.
times on that run.
Yeah.
But you know, you get accustomed to it because again, it's not just jumping. It's all of it. It's all there. There's like a very deliberate nature to everything.
Mhm.
So like when honestly, the only thing that I feel like is instantaneous is the counter. Like when
Yep.
you're fighting, like and that was like very smart move on their part because that
Mhm.
makes the combat feel so much better. But like the combat feels much more instant than actually
The
navigating the
platforming.
world. Yeah, yeah,
100%. Yeah. And it's the detail of this world is nuts. Like you mentioned the special effects, the lighting is crazy. It's like even little things like when you're carrying like a battery per se and like you're doing like a puzzle because
yeah.
there's a lot of puzzles in this game. Usually in a
The way
2D
he
game
walks and
because
everything like that, it all
yeah,
changes. Yeah,
and when when you turn him around, he doesn't usually in like a 2D because the characters are all 2D. The backgrounds and everything are all 3D, but with a 2D aesthetic. It's kind of like the Square 2D HD games, but side scrolling. That's kind of like what it kind of is. But the animation's like way fucking better than these 2D sprites. But when you turn them, instead of just like usually side scrollers will just mirror the image, so it's just like it's in his other hand now. He actually switches hands. Like he'll take the one battery, pass it to his other hand. So you're getting the same view of him, but he's actually switching his hand, which is kind of
yeah,
cool.
and yeah. So they are mirroring the sprite, but they're
Mhm.
putting animation to the mirroring.
Yes, yeah,
So and I think that's really cool too. Like I
yeah.
honestly, when it comes to side scrolling games, anything that is that gives that sort of detail where either number one, either it actually changed like the sprites are different from when if you're looking left or right.
Mhm.
Or if they actually go into the detail of saying, all right, I'm switching, so now I'm going to change hands. So it actually makes sense that I'm walking this way.
Yeah.
Um, I like those little details. Is it perfect? No, it's never going to be perfect, but it's better than seeing someone walking around that's right-handed with a sword, and then he turns around and now he's
Now
wielding
he's
with his
playing his
left
left
hand,
hand.
right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's left-handed.
Yeah.
You know, so it's interesting like that. I like when they do things and take care of those fine details.
Yeah. But it
Um,
is with some warts. I had some weird bugs. I had some things with a puzzle where I couldn't finish a puzzle and I had to reload a checkpoint because I would be looking. I'm like, what does it want me to do? Like, I feel like it's wanting me to do this, but it's not letting me do this. And then I'd be like, after a while, I'd be like, hey, I'm quitting the app, going back in. And all of a sudden, I go back in and I can do what I thought it was trying to tell me to do. There's a couple instances
okay.
of that. Um, for some reason, randomly while going up ladders, I would have to change my input from D-pad to analog or back and forth because I would be like pushing up on the D-pad to climb up a ladder. All of a sudden, he'll just stop climbing, and I'll be like, "Okay," and then I start with the analog, and he'll start climbing again, and then it'll go the opposite way sometime where I start with the analog, and then it's like I've got to switch to the D-pad. But it only happened while climbing up ladders. Really weird.
So you were able to change to D-pad movement?
Yeah. I
How
didn't
do you
change
do
anything,
that?
it was just default, it had it as both, I could use either one. You
That
can't.
is not how it was working on PC.
Oh,
It
really? Okay.
yeah, PC. How do you? Am I thinking of a different game? I don't think so. How do you use one of your stims?
Stim is, down on the D-pad.
Down on the D-pad. So you
Yeah,
can do left and right on the D-pad, and
yeah,
down is still heal.
down is heal, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That would drive me crazy because I would accidentally heal all the fucking time.
Oh, yeah. Because there is no crouch,
Yeah,
so it's
there's
like,
no
yeah. But just
so
by habit, yeah. I actually
yeah,
used this is one of the rare times I use mostly analog while playing this game for a side scroller. I
yeah.
usually always use D-pad.
Yeah, I do too. It just
Yeah.
feels better for me.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I loved it. I would probably it's going to be high up there for my game of the year probably. It's definitely not for everyone. It's also got a really slow start. It starts off very slow, but it's only like a 10-hour game, so I would just urge someone like if this was like an RPG where you had to play like 15 to 20 hours for it to get really good. Like someone said, "Hey, play Metaphor," but you're not really into RPGs. I wouldn't recommend Metaphor. Be like, hey, trust me, it gets really good after like a 20-hour
20 hours, yeah.
tutorial, because that's a huge fucking commitment
Yeah.
to like to maybe like something. This is like 8 to 10. Give it 2.5 hours. Worst case scenario, it's like you wasted as much time as watching a movie you didn't really like, and then you can just like put
And
it
it
down.
and it costs as much. It's only 20
20
bucks. It's
bucks.
like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I like that. So I actually did not realize that this was their first game. Like that's a great way to come out of the gate. Like
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. So
Yeah.
I'm
Considering
looking
they
forward to playing it some
made
more.
it in the war too, like they're Ukrainian, so that's why it got delayed for so
Oh
long
wow.
too.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And it's like I originally was just gonna play it on Game Pass, but I bought it after like half an hour, like an hour. I'm like, yeah, I'm buying it. I want to own this, like
Yeah.
regardless. So
Good
yeah,
shit, man.
yeah, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to get back to it. It's but like Pragmata came out and it has got its teeth in me, man.
Well, let's
It's
talk about
honestly,
Pragmata
yeah, let's
because I
talk about
started that right
Pragmata.
after.
Yeah, so Pragmata, I've been kind of in a funk with games for a while. And I think Pragmata knocked me out of it because I
Hmm.
am really, really enjoying this game. It's and what's interesting is it is again more of a methodical type of game because the actual action in the game you have to kind of plan out what you're doing. You have control over so you've got Hugh, who is they him and his crew go to the moon. There's a station on the moon. They lost contact with the station, and Hugh and his team, captain is someone else, but Hugh and the rest of his group go to find out what was going on. They get there, and I'm not going to tell you what happens, but eventually it's the only person that you have any communication with right away is Hugh, and he runs into this little girl, and the little girl turns out to be a robot or an AI, essentially,
Mhm.
called a pragmata.
It's a theme of
And
the show, AI.
as AI is the theme of the show, that's right. And it's too bad we're not using the other.
Oh, the AI. Oh, that would have been perfect time to use it. We
Yeah.
can always use one of the other photos that we have
Oh no, I don't want to do
saved.
that. I don't. Those things are fucking awful. No, thank you. But yeah, so she is a pragmata, and so she's a robot in like a I don't know, what would you say, like 8 or 9 year old girl's body.
Yeah,
Um,
basically an android, but she's like, yeah, 8 or 9, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she has control. She has I don't want to say control, but she can affect mechanical and anything connected to the network. She can affect the things that are around her, including the bots that are coming at you. And these bots have very strong armor, and you can't get through them. So she hacks them. She helps you hack them, and then they basically are exposed, and you can get stronger hits off them. So you're moving around with the left stick. You aim with typical left trigger aim. And when you're aiming at a bot, if you're in range, it pulls up basically a hacking grid, and you use the face buttons to navigate the hacking grid while you're still controlling Hugh. And once you actually successfully do the hack, it opens up the bot so that you can fire at them and do some damage. So basics of how it works, but because of the hacking, like you've got to keep your distance and move around, and you have to understand where you're trying to move the cursor on the hacking grid. And it's a little slower, but it's still, for me, it's a lot of fun. And I'm having a great time with it. So I'm on the you start out in the area that you show up in. The demo is the wait. No, so you start out in like the power grid area, and that's what the demo is based on. So that's like the entire power grid area, and when you meet that final boss, it kind of opens up a little bit for you, and it gives you like your shelter, and that gives you like the shelter is where it's your hub. It's your basically
It's
your
like your home
base.
base.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
your home base where you
Base
come in
camp.
and you do upgrades and things like that. So a lot of chance for progression with your weapons, with different abilities and stuff like that you can get with your suit. Have you met shoot, what's the little robot's name?
Yes, the
Um,
guy who like gives you the bingo card,
yes,
and
the
the
one
guy,
with the
yeah, yeah,
bingo
yeah,
card.
yeah,
It literally just like looks like a TV running around with legs.
yeah,
And when he talks to you, like the TV goes from portrait and it flips the landscape, and he has like a
yeah.
big digital smile. I can't remember his name for some reason.
I can't remember either.
It's like
Yeah,
God,
because I'm
it's gonna
just
drive me
after that.
crazy.
Like I just beat the first. I'm literally going to the second area. So,
Okay. I'm
um,
near the end of the 3rd area. I don't know how many areas there are, but, the 2nd area is the one that there was a lot of controversy about because they were like, "Oh, I thought you were on the moon. Why did they have New York?" You know? That's
oh,
that's that 2nd area.
because
It's
everything's like
really,
free.
really
Yeah.
cool. It's big. There's a lot of, like, little nooks and crannies you can find, a lot of stuff, a lot of, extras to discover. They have these red doors that you can get keys for that are more like challenge areas. Like you go into these areas and there's more difficult fights that get you extra items, and then some of them will open up. Like when you look at the first bingo card, there's like a red section. It'll open up that red section on the bingo
Okay.
card
It's one.
too, so you
Yeah.
can clear that out. There's a lot to it. You eventually get training areas that are not super difficult, but they give you a lot of loot for it. Like you'll get coins, you'll get the upgrade cubes. Definitely take advantage of some of the extras that are in the game. Um, the story so far has been really fun. I love the relationship between Hugh and Diana. Diana is
Diana's
the
awesome. She's adorable.
Yeah, she's absolutely
Yeah.
adorable. Because you know she's in the body of an 8-year-old girl or 9-year-old girl, and she definitely has the personality of that 9-year-old girl.
Yes.
And you can see that she has, like she's getting to the point where she looks at Hugh as more of a father figure. And you find out a lot about the both of them. You find, but like Hugh has this backstory that they explain as you're progressing, that I think is really interesting. And always talk to Diana when you go to your shelter. Like you can exhaust the dialogue options when you are there, and it'll eventually say, "Hey, Diana, we need to get going," or something like that. But there's a lot of interesting stuff to hear with the back and forth between the two of them. Voice acting is pretty damn good. There's a couple of things that are like, eh,
Mm.
like the take that is probably the one that hurts the most. It's like, oh god, like when he does a critical hit on the one of the bots, and
Mm.
he goes, "Take this," and I'm like, oh god, don't do that. Um, but
Don't do
overall,
that.
yeah, overall, I'm really, really loving it. And they keep like it. You keep expanding Hugh's arsenal of the things that you can do, and it hasn't stopped yet. I'm still getting new stuff to do, new stuff to
Yeah.
you know, new upgrades and stuff like that. How are you liking it so far?
I'm really enjoying it so far. It's kind of like what I've been needed. It's also another shorter game. I think it's supposed to be about like 15 hours or
15
so.
hours or so, yeah.
And it was something that was kind of like I like the idea of it, and I think we talked about this when the demo dropped. But I was afraid of how the whole hacking thing would work.
Yeah.
But it works really well once you get used to it. You're basically playing kind of like a game of Snake with your thumb on the face buttons, and you just got to go through these nodes and end on the green one, and then you end up getting stuff that it, like power ups you can unlock to go in there. And if you pass through those, they'll give you even more damage or whatnot. And then once you hit the green node, it's I love the sound and the visuals of when you hack them. There's like an explosion of like particles and stuff, and like it's so satisfying. And
Yeah.
it so far it hasn't gotten boring for me. Again, I'm very early still. It's one of those mechanics that I don't think will get boring for me. Kind of like countering in Expedition 33, like that never got boring ever, just because of
So, Jeff, there is actually an opportunity to, um, lessen, the amount of hacking, and I haven't bought it yet
because you
because
don't want
I'm
to.
enjoying the hacking. Like, I don't wanna do
Yeah,
that right now.
yeah.
They even have, so I don't wanna go into too much detail of things that are gonna open up, but there is a weapon that you get where, when you hit an enemy with it, it reduces the size of the grid. That
Okay.
so on some of these enemies, that's pretty
You
useful
want it?
because
Yeah.
because on some of these grids, I think so far I've gotten to it's either 5 by 5 or 6 by 6. that's how big the grid is, and it's not always a square either. Like it'll put up like crazy shapes that you have to navigate through. But yeah, I am enjoying the hacking too. And when like some of those node power ups that you were talking about, there is a synergy between them too. And I don't want to go into too much detail right now. Maybe next week we'll
Mhm.
talk about it. But there's two particular that I always bring with me when I'm leaving now, because I ran into a situation where I was able to hit both of them in one specific hacking scenario, and it was I just I don't want, again, I don't want to spoil things, because I think even part of the gameplay is really interesting about this stuff. So maybe next week we'll talk a little bit more in detail about it. But it was one of it like one encounter, and now I'm always bringing those two things with me,
Mhm.
always. And anything I've got, if I'm missing one of them, I will always drop something to pick up
To
the other
pick it
one.
up.
Yeah, I always want to have the two of them together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really
It's
really fun.
it's a video game ass video game,
It
and
is.
it's in the best ways. And it feels like an old game by design, but modernized, like not in the same way like Evil West felt like an old game, or um Space Marine 2. Like this whole hacking thing while you're shooting is like an innovation. Like I've never seen that before. Not at the
Yeah.
same like in a shooter, and like at the same time. And it just like it elevates it to giving it that awesome classic feel of like a I've seen a lot of people compare it to Dead Space, yet by view, I guess, point of view, and
Yeah.
it takes place like on the moon. It's like in space, and you got the suit and everything. Um, but it's like it kind of reminds me of like this is a game I could totally see playing back in the 360 PS3 days. Uh,
That's true.
wouldn't look as pretty, of course, and
No,
who knows if they
it
could even do the hacking at the same time. I'm not sure if that's more strenuous in the game or not, but yeah, I'm loving it, man. I can't wait to play more of it tomorrow, and I'll
nice.
probably have it probably finished by the time we record next, most
Yeah, I'm hoping I
likely.
will too. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Um,
it's. I mean, that's a good description of it. It's a video game ass video game,
yeah,
and
and Capcom's on
having
a
a lot of
roll,
fun with it.
man.
They are,
They're
dude.
just
They
killing it.
are, and props. I and this is for everyone, all the companies that are doing this. Props to anyone that takes a risk on a new IP,
And
because
it's not even a full
God
price
knows,
game.
yeah, it was $60. I mean, that
Yeah,
is a full price game
it's
technically, but
yeah, it's not a
it's not
current gen.
70.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not
yeah,
70 or Nintendo priced. So,
yeah.
um,
Exactly.
but yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I did run into one thing that was a little weird. There was one point where I found one of the ladders that brings you back to the shelter, and when
Hmm.
I got to the shelter, all the sound effects were gone.
Hmm.
And like the music was there. If I went to go talk to Diana, it was there. If I was navigating menus, I could hear the menus, but like running, Hugh had no footsteps, and it was really
Well, you're in
off-putting.
space, Chris. You're not supposed to
Yeah,
have any footsteps.
that's right. No sound. But when I left, everything was fine when I left the shelter. So it was just I just think it was a random glitch.
Yep.
But just a fair warning to people that buy it, you might
T-
run into something like
in
that. But
today's day and age, having a little bug like that is like basically a perfect launch. So it's
um,
it's yeah, not a big deal. Unless it was
but yeah,
constant, of course.
highly suggested though. I have no doubt that this will be on my game of the year list at the
Yeah,
end of the year.
I could
It's
pretty much
yeah.
if it's as yeah, like I've only played like the first hour, and I already feel like it's gonna probably
and
be up there.
and the what I find is, so there's a lot of things out there that are very like AI centric when it comes to like how the story works, and but I love that this one is focused on like the future of like 3D printing technology.
Yeah, the whole thing is
Like
based on
everything you're
that.
doing is talking about what you can print, what you can
Hmm.
3D print. And they're talking about like Luna filament, like that like it only can work on the moon and things like that. And um when Geoff, when you get deep into like the next area, you're going to see like a lot of distortion to some stuff, and it really changes the way it like you look at the environments. And like the third area, in my opinion, is even better. Like I loved it. I loved it. So I'm about at the end of the third area, and I'm really looking forward to keep playing. This game's got its teeth into me. I'm into it.
Good shit.
Good shit. What else? What else you got?
I finished up Crimson Desert. I don't
Nice.
think
That's
I
great.
talked about that last time. Yeah, so I think I it was about 90 hours when I rolled credits.
Wow. Okay.
Then there's like a little bit of an epilogue for the main story afterwards. Um, I wanted to keep playing. It still had its hooks in me, but I had to give it a break or else I wouldn't get anything else. So I will probably go back to it. I just still like I like 90 hours for me is a lot on a game that um like I think that might I'm trying to think of how long it took me to beat Metaphor. I think maybe Baldur's Gate might be one of the other like
If I remember correctly, you
the
were
70s.
around 80s,
Okay.
80s in Metaphor, because I remember saying, "Oh yeah, I'm at like 120," and it was like, "Whoa,"
Yeah.
because I like just wouldn't leave that game alone, right?
Yeah. So like I did start to mainline it probably around chapter 11-ish or so, maybe 10 cuz well, Replaced was coming out and then possibly Pragmata I was going to get whatever and then I was like, "Okay, I need to like it's just going to be this." So I did plow through it. I will go back to it. I still fucking love that game. I think that it's just honestly it's really a shame that it launched with the kind of bugs it had and the kind of control issues and like UI stuff, because it did hurt the reviews, and I think that
Yeah,
did
it did.
turn some people. Even though it did really, really well, I think it sold like I think it's at like 5 million. Like it's selling very, very well. But just like seeing people like I know that fell off really quick or decided not to get it, um, especially people like friends I know that like the new Zelda games. I'm like, it's just a more high fidelity version of that. It's like, and some other things, but it does some things better, it does some things worse. But man, I love it. That's gonna be close. That's gonna be really high on my game of the year list for sure. And the
Yeah.
only other game I actually went back to Forza Horizon 5 because I
Nice.
forgot I bought the DLC a while ago when it was on sale. I never got to it, the rally car
Oh,
DLC.
cool.
So I
Okay.
started messing around with that. Of course, with 6 coming out, and now I'm even more hyped for Forza Horizon 6 now because I'm just like, fuck yeah! It was like coming back home again. I booted that up, and I'm like, oh, this still feels so amazing. Like I love Forza Horizon games. Every race is just so fun. It's yeah, so
It has
much
been
better than
so
sim
long
racing.
since I played a racing game.
Mhm.
Like, I don't even. I'm like, I'm trying to think. I honestly, I
Burnout,
think no, no. I mean, I did play Burnout Paradise, but it wasn't. It didn't really
grab you.
click for me. Like,
I didn't like Paradise either.
I think the last racing game that I really enjoyed was the last Ridge Racer, and I don't think there's been a Ridge Racer since PS3.
I don't think so either.
Like, wasn't it Ridge Racer
Did
7? Like, I don't even.
7 would have been the one on PS3, yeah.
Uh,
Did you ever get into the, MotorStorm games?
no, it
Oh,
didn't.
okay.
I don't know why.
Those are
Like,
great.
none of that stuff felt good.
I'm so mad at myself, dude. I went to, my local video game store, like, about a month ago or a month and a half ago, and they had MotorStorm there on PS3, and I was like, "Fuck, I should get that because that's a game that I wish I didn't sell," and I'm like, "I wanna play those again," and I was like, "You know what? It's probably gonna be here next time I come here." Um, and went back like the next week and it was gone. And I was like, Joe, he's like, what? I'm like, did you sell the MotorStorm that was here? He's like, yeah, man. Someone picked it up. Like, it wasn't on the shelf for that long. I was like, fuck. I'm like,
Hmm.
I should have bought it. Um, I still have my PS3. Actually, I played some God of War collection. I played a bit of that too.
Oh, nice.
Because I
Okay.
was just feeling the God of War, and I played up till just past the Hydra and God of War 1.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The last major Ridge Racer that came out was Ridge Racer 7. That was
Mhm.
20 years ago, dude.
Wow,
That's
wow,
but
wow, wow,
that
wow,
yeah, right?
wow.
But that is like the last time I was really sucked into a
Into a
racing game.
racing game. You know
Um,
what? I've never played a Ridge Racer other than the very first one on the first PlayStation.
so the first one is okay. I
One
feel
track though,
like
right?
uh, I don't
That's what I
remember. I think it was
remember.
more than that, but I played Ridge Racer. I did not really play Ridge Racer Revolution, which was the second one, I think. But then like Rage Racer came out, and that's where it started for me. Like that's
Mhm.
like Ridge Racer was fine, but Rage Racer is where it started. So Rage Racer, and then it was R4, and then it was Ridge Racer 5, and then Ridge Racer 6. Like I just played them all after that.
Yeah,
And I honestly think Ridge Racer 7, which was a launch title for PS3, was the last time I played a racing game for longer than like a couple
like
hours.
testing it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. I
good
was a
stuff.
Daytona guy and a Sega racer guy
Yeah.
back
Oh,
then.
Sega
So
Rally was
Sega Rally
amazing.
is
Like
awesome.
fucking Dreamcast on
Wait,
Sega Rally was so
yeah,
good.
they need to re-release that.
Yeah.
Sega, get on it. That was it
Um.
for me.
Okay, let's see. I play some more Crimson Desert. Not a whole lot to report on though. I think I'm on chapter 5 or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm still making progress. I'm trying. I will definitely go back to Crimson Desert. I have no doubt
Mhm.
about that. Um, I am certainly. I did run into a boss that pissed me off quite a bit.
Okay.
And it sounds like there's going to be a lot of those. It was
It
essentially
depends. Yeah.
it was like this giant beast that's in a building. And you have to
Oh, the one that's in like the church, the ape one.
yeah, uh-huh.
He's an ass. He's like, yeah, he's an asshole. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
It
yeah,
was such a pain in the ass because
yeah,
like just could jump the entire fucking length of the building and land on top of you and kill you.
yeah,
And there's like nothing you can do about it. It's like, all right, whatever.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You can kind of power your way through some of those bosses. Just bring a shitload of healing items and
yeah,
like
yeah.
use the blinding flash finisher. That's like one of the best moves in the entire game.
I'll have to
Um,
keep that in mind.
and then yeah, I've seen people fight that guy, and they're doing like I didn't realize you can climb on its back like Shadow of the Colossus style and start
Yeah, I
stabbing
did
it.
that
I'm
by
like, I never.
accident. The time
Yeah.
that I beat him, I did it by accident. I'm like, oh, it would have been nice to know this.
Yeah,
Stab.
yeah, I didn't even think of those or whatever.
But then the only other thing I played was on stream on Wednesday. I finished up Shantae, the original.
Nice.
So actually it's been 2 weeks that was since we've last talked, right? So
Yep.
it would have been I did my cleanup with on a bunch of the items first for on part 5, and then part 6 was actually beating the game. um I got to give away a copy of the game on stream, so that was good. Congratulations to 2 Renix for winning that.
Nice.
That dude he like 6 parts, and on at least he's been there for all but one of them, I think, and on a couple of them, came when I started, and he just hung out the whole time. So
Oh, that's cool.
I definitely appreciate that. Like, it's nice to have someone to feel like I'm talking to someone. It's weird
Yeah,
to
yeah, if you're
knowing
no
you're not
one's
talking to
there.
anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know the stream is really early, right? Like, we've only done a few parts of it, but hopefully we'll pick up some more viewers coming up. So Wednesday, I will be starting Shantae Advance, which is the new one that just came out last year on Game Boy Advance, and this year, was it this year that it came out? I
Last
think it
year.
came. Was
Was
it
it this
last
year?
year? On other systems, like Game
Oh,
Boy
this
Advance
yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, Game
Yeah.
Boy Advance was last year. On other systems, I think it was early this year. I'd have to go back and look, but the game's really fun. So yeah, come by and check it out on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It'll be fun. But that's it for me.
All right.
So let's talk some news.
We do have a little bit of news, some
What
cool
do we got? What
stuff.
do we got? What do we got?
I feel like I'm missing a bunch of news because, well, we don't have to talk about stuff 2 weeks ago, but I feel like there's some stuff. But if you think of anything, Chris, or if we missed anything big, anyone listening, just let us know because I feel like we're missing some big stuff. But this is what I got. Metro 2039 was there's a little kind of like mini, it wasn't a showcase, it kind of sort of like a 15-minute or so like reveal kind of trailer, and they talked about it a bit. That's releasing in winter 2026. That could be this year. That could be early next year. Who knows? Actually, I don't even think it said
Well, it doesn't say
2026.
2026. It
It
just
just
says
says
winter,
winter. It just says
which
winter.
that's
Yeah.
2/3 of winter is next year. Just saying.
Yeah. So people did. There was a little bit of a battle of that on the Fantasy Critic, where
That's right.
Phrase and Nathan both went at it, and Nathan got it because they both bid for the same amount, and it
The
goes to the
minimum
person with the
amount.
minimum
The
amount of
minimum
the
amount.
minimum
Stop
amount.
stop bitching. If you're gonna be cheap about it, don't bitch when you don't win it.
It went to Nathan because he's got the lowest projected point, so they threw him a bone. They're like, "Oh, you suck.
Poor
Here you go. You can have it."
poor
Um,
Nathan. Like,
I think this is gonna be next year, though. Yeah, I know he's taking a beating this year
yeah,
from
he
the
is.
Fantasy Critic.
This is he won last year, right?
Yeah,
And the only two things that have released for him are one of
high
his
guard.
games that was negative, and
Mm.
then his counter pick released and rated really well. So he's at like negative 19 points right now. Poor Nathan, man. Sorry,
uh,
man. Nathan, you're gonna come back. I see it. I see it.
possible, maybe. But speaking of coming back, you know how we had all these like mini consoles? There's like a Renaissance. There's like the
Yes,
mini
yes.
NES, Super Nintendo,
Some
Genesis,
of those I have
TurboGrafx.
one of them or two of them. I have
I
two
have
of them, I
two.
think.
I have the 16-bit era ones.
Yeah, I think I have the SNES and I have the Genesis one. I'm pretty sure.
Nice. Well, Neo Geo is coming back, but not in mini, Chris. They are
No.
making the hardware again and re-releasing. They're starting with 10 of the original size cartridges of some Neo Geo games that are coming
Like
out. The
the straight up Neo
Neo
carts.
Geo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for those of you that are interested in talking Neo Geo, come by the Discord and talk to Light because he had all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
And there's two things that I think is really cool about this. The first thing is that all the hardware that they're releasing still works with all the
Yes.
old accessories and old games.
Yep.
So it's all like it all works. And then it's even forward compatible. So if you have an old Neo Geo system, you can get the wireless controller and apparently it will work. So I think that's really cool too.
That's cool.
But Neo Geo, the biggest thing about Neo Geo was that it was like $700 when it first came out. Now it's 250, but
Yeah.
it's the same
250
goddamn thing,
bucks.
right? And I think they have a 250, and I think they have a pack that comes with Metal Slug for and a wireless controller for 350.
That's the
And
anniversary one, I think. Is
yeah,
that
the
what they're
white
calling
one.
it? Yeah.
And then they have a package that is all 10 games in like this like really nice like case that holds it for 1,000. And it
Yeah.
comes with the system, 10 games, and then it comes with a wired controller, a wireless controller, one of the memory cards, and I feel like there's one other thing that I'm missing, and I can't remember what it
I
is.
don't quite know.
Yeah.
The games are going to retail for about 80 bucks, 70 $80. So they are kind of a little bit pricey considering like these games you could like get on a phone. Like they're like these Neo Geo games now can pretty much you can get them pretty much anywhere and they are old, but because they are actual like on a cart, there is going to be some manufacturing there. So um, there is still going to be pricey for the games, but for 250, I don't know how much this is going to be in Canada. I might think about it. I don't know if I'd ever really play it that
I
much, but I
wouldn't.
am.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's
honestly, that's what it would be. Would just be like a discussion item. Like you would just have it to
yeah,
it
yeah,
would cause discussion about it. So
exactly. And it would be cool
um
like to mess around with it here and there, but I don't know. We'll see. It is cool though. I did always want a Neo Geo. I only knew one person who had one back in the day. That
yeah,
was it.
Light had one. He when we were working at the game store, he picked up. He had the cart system and he had the Neo Geo CD system.
Hmm,
So and he apparently he has sold all of his old Neo stuff though. So I'm not, but I know he knows more about Neo stuff than anybody I know. So
makes
good
sense.
stuff. What else?
Just today, the worst kept secret in all of gaming is the Black Flag remake, Assassin's
Oh yeah.
Creed, which has been rumored for forever. And then there was like leaks that it was coming out last year, then it got delayed, and it was coming early this year, then got delayed. Ubisoft came out today and basically said, "Hey, the industry's worst kept secret. Yep, it's real. They're having a reveal of the game April 23rd this week at 6 p.m. Eastern. So they're finally going to show that off, and it probably is coming out this year. So yeah, I'm very excited. I loved Black Flag. I never finished it though because I bought that at the launch of last generation, and I picked
Hmm.
up like 5 or 6 games. I think it was one of my biggest launches. Like I was like saving up money, and I like traded much stuff. I'm like, oh man, and I just had ADD, and I just never got around to finishing it.
That was the last. That's the last Assassin's Creed that I finished was 4.
Oh, it was 4. Nice. I'm hoping it
So
looks good. I'm hoping it's awesome. I really do hope it's awesome. I hope they fix some stuff, but also keep
I
it to the old
I
style
really
combat and
liked the
stuff.
ship combat. Like
Yeah, it was great.
I don't like the ship combat was really well done.
It was
So
so well done, Chris, and so well received. They decided to make an entire game based on that combat, and it came out like what 15 years later, 10 years later. I wonder if people still play that Skull and Bones or
Skull and
whatever it's
Bones? I
called.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
who knows?
Let's see. I'm not going to go into too much detail of it, but one of the things that did happen since the last time that we talked was the I3 event. It's like the indie
Hmm.
like event that Evil Empire puts on. There were some interesting games. I highly suggest everybody go check it out at least. A few of the things that I thought were interesting, there was one called Spacecraft that looked a little bit like No Man's Sky. There was a game called Dead at Disco, which really reminded me of Hi-Fi Rush. It was that combat, like rhythm combat type game. So that's really interesting. I think it might make some people interested. There's Alabaster Dawn, which is made by the same people that made Crosscode. Kind of wish Jason was here. I know Jason played Crosscode, I'm pretty sure.
I played yeah. Dying.
No dying.
I played
no dying.
Crosscode for a little bit when it was on Game Pass.
Alabaster's Dawn, go check this game out because it looks fucking gorgeous. Like they took the visual style that they did with Crosscode and like amped it up like 3 or 4 times. It looks really good. And then of course Evil Empire is doing the new Castlevania, so they had a little bit more on that, and talked about how it's going to work.
Oh yeah, when's that coming out, Chris?
2026 apparently. Did any new information about that date? But it's still on my fucking fantasy critic list, and I'm going to keep it there.
Oh, definitely, dude. Yeah.
But
I think you're safe with that one.
There were a lot of games shown. I highly suggest you guys go check it out. It's only about 45 minutes long, and it's literally all trailers. It was really cool little well put together thing. And there was some interesting stuff on there. So one of the games was
Secret of Mana-ish.
Which one?
Alabaster Dawn, yeah.
So you guys were talking about in the Discord the other day, Graveyard Keeper, and that it was free. And I think the reason that they put it up there for free is because they announced Graveyard Keeper 2 during this little show. So really cool stuff.
Graveyard Keeper was probably the fastest I installed and uninstalled a game ever in my life.
Is that right?
Yeah, I didn't know. For some reason, I thought it was like a side-scrolling action game or something. And the second I booted up, and I was like, okay, the art style is kind of cool. But the second I realized this is a survival game or like a gathering game, like a tree puncher, I'm like, nope, deleted. Yeah.
I know it's not my thing, so I didn't bother. But I am super interested in Dead at Disco. Like that looks really neat. But yeah, that's it. Just wanted to point that out. You guys go check that shit out.
Nice.
Let's see. Anything else?
I don't think so.
That might be a show.
Games. I think I can't think of anything else that I do think we're missing some new stuff, and I also don't. This is even like a bit. I'm not going to try to like be like, I remember it's actually this big thing we missed. I just, when you get that feeling, I don't know, whatever. Video games.
We missed something.
Too many of them.
People will tell us. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Play Replaced. Play Pragmata.
Yes.
Play anything you want to.
Highly suggesting both Replaced and Pragmata right now. They are both very good.
Good stuff coming out this year.
Yeah. Well, let's make that a show then. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please tell a few friends about us. And if you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment. All of those things really help us out. Trying to grow our community and our base. So help us out. Check out our Wednesday stream starting at 7 p.m. I'm going to go through Shantae, all the Shantae series. And then if you want to chat with us on Discord, go to interactivedistractions.com and it will give you a link to our Discord so you can come hang out. Other than that, I think that's a thing. So my name is Chris.
And I'm Geoff.
Play your games, and we'll talk to you next time.